Mr. Comics 89 here, fresh from the Fantastic Four movie. This will be a spoiler-filled, just talk about it, so if you don't want to be spoiled, please click away from the video now because I am not holding back and I'm not being vague. So I'll give you a few seconds to get out of the video, so. But, wow, was that an amazing movie. I mean, I didn't know what to expect, honestly. The trailers left a lot to me being uneasy about some stuff. I mean, the look, the sound of the thing, the rock beard. I remember watching the trailers and thinking that the world of Fantastic Four, was it 828? You know, Jack Kirby's birthday. Their world looked like the old movies, like from the 60s where they try to imagine the future or something like that, where, the old movies where they try to reimagine sci-fi, where you try to imagine the future, the world of 2001, Space Odyssey 2001, the world's gonna look like the Jetsons. All that futuristic looking 60s vibe in the trailer had me a little nervous. I wasn't sure how I would feel. It just worked for the movie. It was quaint, it was awesome. The characters were great. I mean, I wish Ben Grimm sounded more like he was Brooklyn, more gravelly in his tone, more like he did in the actor who played him originally in 2004, I think. The very first two Fantastic Four movies. I liked that voice. I wish that voice was there. Small complaint, but I grew to like the look of the Thing. I still would prefer him to be, just pants, bare-chested. That's a good look for the Thing, not the full-fledged costume. That one was ugh, in a sense regard. I'm a little bit iffy on that still. Johnny Storm, I'm jumping all over the place, so bear with me. Johnny, I love this version of Johnny. It was just amazing that he was not just some hot-headed punk. I mean, he loved space. He had a passion that you could just feel. He wanted this, and then while Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm are solving the Galactus problems, he's helping out, but he's also figured out Shia LaBeouf, the female Silver Surfer. I'm blank on the name, so I'm just gonna call it female Silver Surfer, the Herald or whatever. So bear with me on that. Figured out her language, figured out her history, learned it, taught, could speak to her and all that, and basically it's because of him, because of that, knowing that she came back at the very end there and did what she did, helping to save the Earth. Johnny Storm saved the world. Thank you, Johnny. Crushing on a space chick. It was just awesome to see him more than just a guy who can control fire. I guess it would be more thing that he was a scientist too. Here, he's a smart guy, intelligent. He figured out the solution. I love them going into space. Sue Storm was amazing. It was just awesome. I mean, just the whole vibe. The movie was great. I loved it. I mean, it told their origin story, but it did it quickly. In that guise of that late night talk show documentary kind of thing. Here's the history of the Fantastic Four. We owe them so much. We love them. It was just basically, here's our story, instead of spending half an hour, 45 minutes of a movie here. It was just amazing. And then Galactus, when they went up to meet Galactus, seeing his actual physical body like that. I mean, I kept looking at his eyes, how it seemed glaze over between beams and all like that, and actual eyes. I mean, I was confused why that was happening. Why couldn't they just pick one or the other? Glowing pupils or just slots in general. Why did he? It was interesting, to say the least. But It was a great, great movie. I mean, fantastic, for a lack of a better adjective. You know, Mole Man. Like when I heard Mole Man for the first time, I'm like, that's Stingray from Cobra Kai, and that was just laughed out loud at that regard. Just, it was awesome to see all of that. Herbie, all these characters. I mean, this Rachel chick that Ben Grimm was crushing on, was going like, that's not Alicia. What are you doing? But it was great. And then that mid-credit scene where, you know, Doctor Doom is, you know, has his mask off, or Franklin has his mask off and looking up at him. You know, I just wish, I mean, he looked good. He looked like, you know, Doctor Doom. He did look an awful lot like he did in the first Fantastic Four, or the Fantastic Four movies, in a sense. That look, Robert Downey Jr. when we do see him, if you know, if he's still playing and all that, he's gonna have the face, he's gonna have the vibe. I will completely 100% buy him as Doctor Doom, no question about that. It's just amazing. I loved it a bit. So, overall, the look was great. The story was fantastic. I enjoyed it. I mean, it was a great standalone movie tied there. Now, I'm curious. How, I mean, I was hoping for a end-credit scene that explained how the hell that ship ended up on the Thunderbolts world, or on 626 world again in Thunderbolts movie. I guess we'll find out again in Doomsday here. But the look, the feel, story. I mean, like I said, I didn't like the 60s style costume. You know, that too much white and the blue. Yes, it's comic book accurate, but I want more modern, you know, look. You know, I know it's not based in that. You know, it's a futuristic, sci-fi looking world from the 60s, and it's based on the style in it, so it makes sense. I'm not complaining. You know, I mean, I'm complaining in that regard, but it's just something to complain about. You know what I mean? Just, it's a look that I don't prefer that way. So, I would like more modern costumes. Hopefully we'll see something different, or a little more, I don't know, Battle World, whatever that we'll see when the whole Doomsday Secret Wars happens. So that look at the costume was just a tick of, I could do better. It could be better. It was a cute storyline in the sense, the beard for Ben Grimm, but I hated the look. It does not suit him. Rock doesn't grow like hair. I'm sorry. It doesn't, no. So that's a definite tick off there. Like I said, I came around to the actor and the look for the thing from Ben Grimm, even if I prefer the first. Like I said, I came around to the look of the thing for the MCU thing, but I still prefer the original Ben Grimm's voice. So if we could combine them, it would have been perfect. The Invisible Woman's powers there at the end during the fight with Galactus, when they almost failed initially to do their plan. They've been there to send him off world, get across the galaxy like that through the black hole before the female Silver Surfer helped finish the job. Her digging deep. Here's her holding the shield, and then how it's like almost how cute the breaking through fairly easy, but then like the whole motherhood instinct of that's my baby, dig deep, lifting the car off your trapped child. I mean, you can say it was cheesy. You can say it was like, what ended up happening? Yeah, they, of course they did that, whatever, playing to the crowd, playing the thing like that. But it's completely believable for a reason. Like, stereotypes exist for a reason. You know, her digging deep and actually having cosmic level strength, holding him, pushing him back like that. You know, is it any wonder Franklin was born with the power? Was born with the power to quench Galactus's thirst in the movie? That if Franklin was born with this right amount of genes, or developed like that, that he had what she needed, or the baby had what he needed, that her makeup, her will, her dig deepness was enough to work, you know, to make the plot line work, make the plot work. Yeah, sue the writers for writing like that. So what? It just completely believable. I loved it. You know, nothing stronger than a woman's or mother's love, a family's love, and all that. And it just the whole back to the wall, all hope lost. Your very life force building through the power to make it happen. It just, it worked. Just gorgeous. It worked. No one believed. Biggest complaint that I just now thought of, because this part here will be dropped in there because I forgot to talk about this during the video. Oh, like that, you know, with as great as the Invisible Woman, Sue Storm's mother's love power-up was, one of the biggest, and then Johnny's brains and ability, awesome. Mr. Fantastic was like nerfed in his powers. I mean, maybe on a scale of Galactus, you know, pulling him apart like that, it was like, yeah, okay. He wouldn't stretch as far as I want him to stretch because it's not physically possible even for him. But it just seemed like Mr. Fantastic could only stretch his arms and legs like 25 feet. You know, that the unstable molecules of his uniform were being torn, and that wasn't the only thing. It didn't make sense. I did not like it. It's just like, great, you know, it reminded me of Superman, you know, 2 weeks ago, going like, Superman seems to be powered down, you know, from a god-like being in power to someone that just could lose. You know, Superman can't lose to most people and all that regard, but they made it seem like so, and it seems like, here's Mr. Fantastic, his only asset is his brain because he can stretch his arms 20 feet. You know, well, I hope he has a big brain because I hope he has a big brain because his muscles certainly took a hit. You know, Johnny, fantastic, upgraded in every way. Invisible Woman, fantastic, upgraded in every way. The Thing needs the shave, but just as good as he was before. Mr. Fantastic, and we'll call him above average man. Mr. Above Average. And that's about it. That's the biggest complaint, honestly, of the movie. That's honestly the biggest complaint from Mr. Fantastic. Legion of Comics and I had a talk on Instagram that I already know you're going to give this an A+, and I want to give it an A+, but I'm still going to stick to just a few small artistic ticks, personal choice ticks against the movie. It's a solid A. But this is like a 95.9%. You know, one more, it's an A+. So, this is, if the Fantastic Four movie was a CGC grade, I give it a CGC 9.6. Like I said, it's not that, the only thing keeping it from that 9.8 is me as a grader going, I see this personal looks. I don't know, I had a bad day at work, kind of a thing. So, see this movie, love this movie. Again, if you were watching it all the way to the end, I warned you. Sorry, I said spoiler alert. Don't leave me hate comments. I love the movie so much, though. I just cannot wait to buy it and have it in my collection and watch this movie again. Hell, well, I can't. It's hard to watch it, you know. Here in Korea, the movie theater on base is closed Monday through Thursday. And it seems like there's new movies every weekend or kind of a thing. So I don't know if Fantastic Four will be around next Friday, let alone Saturday or Sunday of next week. So who knows? If I truly wanted to see this again next week, you know, maybe I might have to go into Seoul itself, you know, take the train, you know, with my battle buddy into Seoul. You know, I believe they're called Katuzas. They're Korean soldiers that work with American soldiers on base. You know, I think he said that the movie theater, you know, is in English, but Korean subtitles, so that way everyone can speak English, people who speak English can enjoy it, and they can still do it if they, you know, understand it more if they don't speak English as well, or they don't speak English. So, I don't know. I'll see it again off this base, honestly, because, you know, it's just great. I loved it as hell. Loved it to death. Fantastic movie. Fantastic movie. Like I said, 9.6 CGC. A weak A+, only because I have personal tics of I wish this was different. But again, I didn't see any flaws to the movie other than personal opinions on here and there. So if you take my personal opinion out of it completely and just looked at the movie objectively, A+. So it's been a long time since I did a video like this, or any video for that matter, on my channel, because it's hard to do videos like this outside of, you know, in the army deployed. So I don't know how many videos I will do before I get back home and be able to have new comic book day again and all that stuff. But until that happens, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below. Please tell me what you thought of the movie. It's 10 o'clock here and I have to get up in a few hours again so I can watch Only Slabs on back in the States, so I don't miss Only Slabs from Rob Fat Stacks and Chris the Comic Vet. So I get up early to see that show, so gotta go to bed so I can watch it. So fantastic movie, pun intended. Go see it. A+, just it's worth spending $30 a pop to see this movie multiple times in theaters, and I'm not lying. Go out and see it. You won't be disappointed. Comment down below what you loved about the movie. I would love to hear your comments. Take care. Happy collecting. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, comment down below, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. You know, I love making these videos, and I love your guys' support. So, again, if you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Happy collecting.